EPRO Services incorporated AD55 sprayer as a palletized sprayer that can be connected to any tote or drum to apply EPRO products. All the components of the sprayer are designed for years of service. A key component of the sprayer is the Weener pump. What we will be demonstrating is the installing of a rebuilt kit on the EPRO pump made by Weener Industries. We are doing this demonstration with a new pump. There will be no emulsion. However, when doing pump repair in the field, there will be some dried and liquid emulsion that can cause a bit of a mess. Also, oil could flow out of the inside of the pump. Take precautions not only to contain the spills, but also to protect your skin and clothing. This is a rebuilding kit. It contains the following: diaphragms, O-ring followers, outer manifold O-ring, inner manifold O-ring, center bolt O-ring, valve seat O-rings, valve seats, valves, valve springs, tetraseals, and valve spring retainers. It may not be necessary to install all the parts from this kit into the pump. However, after cleaning, if there are any parts that when you look at them appear to be damaged, stretched, or weakened, they should be replaced. The tools needed for the rebuilding of the pump include a 9/16 socket and/or box wrench, short and long-handled slot and Phillips screwdrivers, a hammer, a 3/16, 5/16, and 3/32 Allen wrench. This repair is at the fluid end of the pump. First, remove all the bolts around the manifold. To do this, a 9/16 wrench and a 5/16 Allen wrench is needed. Each bolt has two washers, one on the head side of the bolt and one on the nut side. Caution: these bolts may be very tight and may take significant pressure to remove them. It's a good idea, if space permits, to leave the pump bolted down during the removal of the manifold. It keeps the pump stable. Next, using a 3/8" Allen wrench, remove the center bolt and washer. Since the manifold is now loose, hold it securely. When the manifold is removed from the pump, you may notice it is full of liquid emulsion and dried emulsion. Remove all these materials from the manifold. After clearing of all materials from the pump, you may notice one or all of the valves are stuck. To test proper operation of the valves, push each valve in with your finger. They recess about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. The valves are spring-loaded, so they just pop in and out. When valves are stuck, they will not pick up the flow. To release these valves, apply WD-40 around the valves and gingerly work them back and forth until they are loose. Spray again with WD-40 and continue pushing each valve in and out until they are free. Note: because this is a new pump, you will notice there is water coming out of these valves. This is a result of water being used during factory testing. When the manifold is removed from a pump in the field, there may be dried material in the valve spring retainer. If this occurs, the retainer may be very difficult to remove. Do not pry or apply too much pressure to pull out the valve spring retainer. They are plastic and can be easily broken. In some cases, spraying the valve spring retainer with WD-40 may be required. Behind the valve spring retainer is the valve spring, the valve, and the tetraseal. If there is a significant amount of material that needs to be cleaned from the manifold and solvents are used, these 3 O-rings need to be checked. This is because if these O-rings are exposed to a heavy concentration of solvent, they may expand, and reinstalling them into this pump may be very difficult. Thus, it is a good idea to keep an extra set of O-rings on hand to install in the manifold. Reassembly of the manifold to the pump will be covered in a later chapter.